All right, so on this example, we are going to do what they're asking us to do, which is plurality with elimination. It's also called instant runoff voting. This, by the way, is the method that is used when they pick an Olympic city. So we don't use this in the United States in political voting, but when they, I don't know if you know, they pick, for the Winter and the Summer Olympics, a bunch of cities bid on it, right? Cities in America, cities in other countries, right? What was the recent Olympics? Where were they? I can't remember. Anyway, so cities bid because they want to have the Olympics in these big cities around the world because they get a lot of money and stuff when the Olympics come to their place, right? We had the Beijing Olympics last time summer was Beijing, wasn't it? Anyway, so the Olympic Committee, made up of representatives from all around the world, that Olympic Committee decides where it's going to be. The different countries present a bid, a proposal, what they'll do for the athletes and for the fans that are coming and all that. And they make a bid. And so the Olympic Committee looks at all the bids and they decide which city is going to get the next summer or winter Olympics based on this method. So let me show you this method. This is exactly what they use. So what do you do? So notice it has the word plurality in it. So just to help you keep these all straight, whenever you see the word plurality, you should think first place only. That's what it means. Plurality is, but it's a little more complex. First place only. So what do you do in this method? Step number one, look at first place only votes. Step two. So I'm just going to look right here, right? There's the first. I'm not even going to look at second, third, or fourth right now. Just look right there. But it's not just, if it was just plurality, we would just say D wins, game over. But it's not just plurality. We saw some problems with the plurality method. So this is a tweak on the plurality method. It's plurality with elimination. So that's what step two is about. You're going to eliminate the lowest and then cycle back. So in other words, instead of declaring the winner as the highest, you're going to eliminate the lowest. You're going to kick people out one at a time. This is exactly what they'll do. If you ever watch when they're, if you type in, when it's time to pick type into Google something about Olympic city picking, you'll see they'll go through the rounds and they'll go, Atlanta was kicked out in round 3. And, this city was Beijing was kicked out in round 2. They'll just start kicking people out. They'll eliminate people and they'll just narrow down the field until they just have 2. That's basically what we're going to do. So here we go. So on mine, who's going to get kicked out? Who has the lowest number of first place votes? Is that what it is? I can't tell. So I'm just going to write them here real quick. Looks like A has just 9. And B has B's going out, huh? B has 6. C has a C there. C has 1 and 11. So 12. And D has a bunch. Oops. Scribbled that. So 21 so B is out. So what that means then is you're going to go up to this table and you're going to actually drop B out of the election. I don't mean that you're going to do any more revoting. I just mean B is out. Bye B. B is now out. This is literally what you'll see when they do the Olympic voting. Certain city will be kicked out. And then they'll do another round. So now we go back up. Well, it's going to be in the way. But then you take first place again. Take first place, which is new. Again, now you might think, what do you mean it's new? It's just going to do the same thing every time. No. Notice look at these first 6 voters. Here's what's new about it. Here's what's changed. Now that we've kicked B out, because B was the least first place favorite, those 6 people, who's their new favorite now? A now gets more first place votes. Do you see that? See how it has shifted the game a little bit? So it's not going to, every round will be a little different as you kick people out. Some of the other people will rise up to be first place because the other people are gone, right? So now count them again. Here we go. So how many for A? How many does A have now? Well, they have these 6. Oh, and they still have those 9. No change there. 6 plus 9, 15. Use your calculator whenever you need it. You can use calculators on the exam and everything. 6 plus 9, 15. So A is up to 15. Now B's out. Why did I write B? B's out. So I'll just write C. If I can. Oops. My iPad just has a little trouble with the speed here. There we go. C. So how many does C have? Same as before, 11 and 1, 12. How many does D have? D still has a whole bunch, 21. All right, so who's out this time? Yeah, C is out. So bye-bye C. So then you go back up to the chart. B and C, I'm going to kind of erase everything, have been eliminated. So this is plurality with elimination. Okay, so I will eliminate. So B and C. So bye-bye B earlier, and now bye-bye C. So B and C are out because they were low. So we just keep kicking out the lowest. And now, final round, I'll just put it over here, step 4. So now, how many, again, it's just first place, but that's going to be shifting as people are kicked out. So how many first places does A now have? Well, these 6 are in favor of A. Let me change my color here. So these 6 like A. And anybody else? These 9 like A. Oh, and these 11 like A, don't they? See how A's tops on all those? And so what's that? 26. 26. And then the other one would be D. And how many first place does D have? 21 for D. And 1 more for D right there. And that's it? Yeah. And so who wins the election? A. See how A came from behind there, surprisingly? See how, because we all kind of thought D's going to win at first, right? And D would have won by normal plurality. But with plurality with elimination, A wins. Because as other people dropped out, they did like A next best in many cases. So you see how this method is kind of nice that way? You just keep kicking out the low guy. And then that way you really, you know, those that you like second or third kind of rise up. Yeah, D was really liked by 21 people first place, but D was pretty low in everybody else's books, or most other people's voting had D pretty low. And so that's what made A eventually rise to be the winner of that election. So there it is. That's plurality with elimination.